Welcome and thanks for joining me today as we have a pretty heavy NBA episode with football season over and the East and the West being competitive, full of contenders, which will go over one of the contenders that I think are really being overlooked in the Western Conference. And then we'll talk about it right now. The Miami Heat. Oh my goodness, the Miami Heat took the Bucks by the horns and wiped the floor with a full healthy Bucks squad. I wonder how Dame's feeling after losing to the Dame package. Hero, Jaquez, Jovic, Duncan Robinson. The Heat defeated the Bucks in Milwaukee 123-97. Nikola Jovic, he got the call, needing to start with all the injuries, and Jimmy Butler having personal time off, and he stepped up and led the game in scoring with 24 points. He's a clearly talented player, a true stretch four, able to do everything. The Heat have been playing the long game throughout his short career, but when he is put in these moments and he needs to show up, he shows up. And I think he'll be getting a serious amount of minutes next year, especially if Caleb Martin or Kevin Love ends up off the team next year. The only reason he doesn't already have serious minutes is obviously because Jaquez's amazing rookie performance. He had 12 off the bench last night. And then Duncan Robinson, man, coming off of almost beating Jaylen Brown's ass at 23 points. Sharpshooter doing what sharpshooters do, getting buckets and attacking the rim more frequently this season. This felt amazing. We all know the Heat and Heat fans are not scared of the Milwaukee Bucks, especially if the Bucks are coached by Doc Rivers. I mean, we all know Doc Rivers is not a top 15 coach of all time like the NBA tried to say. He's straight garbage. When's the last time he went past the second round? Hasn't been since 2012. He's still riding the coattails of Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett, Ray Allen, that whole 2008 championship. The Miami Heat are not scared of no Bucks, especially when coached by Doc Rivers. We want them in the first round of the playoffs. If they put us in the first round against the Milwaukee Bucks this season, do you think I'm scared? Do you think the Heat fans are scared? Do you think the Miami Heat are scared of anybody? I don't think they're scared of anybody in the East, especially not no Milwaukee Bucks. I mean, they haven't been any better with Doc Rivers. They haven't been any better with Dame Lillard. They're still the same old fraudulent Bucks. And watching Giannis, he's just terrible. He's just one-dimensional. Run to the rim and dunk it. He can play defense. But once he gets the ball and he's wide open, he doesn't even think about shooting it. He still has no jumper. We aren't scared of no Bucks. Moving on from the Bucks, this win was beyond significant for the Miami Heat. As going into this 3-game stretch before the All-Star break, I thought it was very possible that we'll be on another 3-game losing streak. Playing the Celtics, Bucks, and Sixers within 4 days. But after this performance last night, I'm very confident that they even take the game against the Sixers tonight on a back-to-back in Philly. Okay? That performance proved that the bench is willing to step up when needed. Terry Rozier, Josh Richardson, Jimmy Butler, they're all out. We stepped up and smoked the Bucks. Why wouldn't we do the same with the Sixers, who are also hurt? And let's get into the preview for the Heat game tonight. As I just said, the Heat play the Philadelphia 76ers in Wells Fargo Arena, and I wish Kyle Lowry was playing so I could witness how bad he really is, just not on my team. But he is out with other significant 76ers players, like DeAnthony Melton, Tobias Harris, and of course, Joel Embiid, who will be out for some time this season, suffering a meniscus injury. The Sixers are on a 2-game win streak, defeating the red-hot Cavs on Monday, and then the Wizards before that. While the Heat are coming off of a easy back-to-back, of course. Just the usual domination of the Bucks and Doc Rivers. After last night's performance, this got me convinced. The Heat team is thriving off of culture. And the young players are stepping up. When the Heat are dealing with 3 significant players out in Rozier, Richardson, and Butler, I don't see Maxey and his new sidekick, Buddy Hield, being able to knock off the Heat. Especially with this group of players being able to do what they did last night. The Heat want to go into this break. The Heat want to go into this All-Star break already. Especially with the injuries and what they're going through. And these tough victories while key players are out bring the team together and are important. And also, when everyone's doubting us without Jimmy Butler, we always find a way. And I believe the Heat will find a way tonight with Tyler Hero leading the way. So our dog of the day, the Miami Heat. Our dog of the day has been pretty hot as of late. So follow the hot hand before it cools down, even though I'm always hot. But lastly, let's take a visit to the opposite coast in America, to the West. And why is everybody overlooking the Golden State Warriors? They are on a 5-game heater. They have a player in Steph Curry who can go off and get buckets any night and is a superstar. Draymond is the conductor of the team, giving a solid 10 to 12 points a night with 7 rebounds, 7 assists. Then they have the young pieces, especially Jonathan Kuminga, who's averaging 22 points in the last 10 games and has really stepped up as of late. The only reason the Warriors, in my opinion, are being overlooked is because of the obvious regression in Klay Thompson. He is a shell of his all-star self, but he could still give the Warriors a solid performance, 12 to 15 points, and go off any night. He can go off for 30 any night with his shooting ability and everything. I truly think their ability to play great defense, especially recently, and having players step up around Curry to get buckets, make the Warriors a serious contender. I mean, Podemski, Wiggins, Gary Payton on defense, all these young players, some of them young, are key to the Warriors being a contender. And they all step up, and I think the Warriors really have a good, solid team to be a contenders in the West. The Western Conference is tough, and it will be fun to watch this season who comes out on top. The Warriors play the Clippers on ESPN tonight at 10 p.m. Kawhi's out. I think they can have a chance to go on a 6-game heater. And the Warriors will really show who they truly are and why they can possibly be contenders this season on national TV. Thanks for hearing me talk. Thanks for listening to my nonsense. And see you soon.